Lagos Television. I did say before that break that we'll be looking at something very light on the program today. We are looking at life after a divorce, and there are so many things surrounding a divorce. The children are involved, the couples, the husband and wife, they're also involved, their family members, and it comes with a lot of emotional challenges, psychological challenges, and the stigma from members of the society. But is marriage a do or die affair? The answer is no. You can only enjoy your marriage when you are alive. So there are so many issues surrounding life after divorce, and we have somebody who is quite interested in people getting divorced with us in the studio this morning. She's no other but Eno Martins. She's the founder, Jakpa Divorcee Diaries. What a name.
Divorce Diaries.
Jakpa Divorce Diaries.
Divorce Diaries, okay,
Yes,
thank you.
yeah.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure's mine.
So let's start from why would those who have preferred love for each other for years and they've been living together for a while want to divorce each other?
There are different reasons.
Why decide?
Because it's actually different from one person to the other. For some, it's just a total emotional breakdown. Maybe the environment is no longer safe for them to be there. For some, it's a thing of, let's say, midlife crisis, you know, where suddenly they just want a change. They want to be in a different space, in a different time, or with a different person, or they feel like they've outgrown the marriage, or they feel that they are no longer fulfilled in the marriage. Do you
outgrow a marriage?
Some people do. Some people...
You can actually outgrow your partner.
Some people, yeah. Maybe if the partner is not... if you're growth prone, if you're someone who believes in personal development, and then you feel that this person is just not aligning with your ideals, people do outgrow marriage. Marriage is supposed to be for better, for worse. It's supposed to be a commitment for life. But some people don't see it that way, and it's rather unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's rather unfortunate.
Things indeed happen, and you know,
it does.
When you say for better, for worse, or we wish them a happy married life, and then things happen, people change. So my question is, how does divorce, affect a man and then a woman?
It's a totally different dynamic because, we all know that we live in a male-dominated world. Some people say it, how do they say it, that, men call the shots.
It's a man's world.
It's a man's world. All those things, you hear those things. But to a large extent, it's true. The way it will affect a man is completely different from the way it will affect a woman, in the sense that, take, for example, if it's a man that decides to walk away from the woman. The woman is blindsided because maybe she didn't see it coming, or she never felt that, okay, whatever differences we're having, whatever problems or issues we're having, it shouldn't get to that, especially if it's not a physically abusive marriage. It may be emotionally abusive, but it's easier for the man to just move on, talk to another woman, and start another relationship and then get married. It's easier. But then it's not as easy for the woman to just approach a man and say, let's start dating. It's not that easy. The dynamics are more against the women. So it's easier for a man to decide to move on with his life after divorce than for a woman.
Okay, so let's talk about the pressure that comes with a divorce.
Yes.
Both for male and the female, and the trauma that the children have to go through. Because oftentimes the children are usually at the receiving end.
In the middle, yeah. These are real deep issues, because a lot of the times the children are caught in the middle. They never saw it coming. Like in my case, my little daughter was like, no, mommy, no. She was literally saying, no, I don't even want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. Because the world we live in now, my daughter is Gen Alpha. So she proudly says, okay, Mommy, I'm Gen Alpha. These are children who would tell you, Mommy, this is stressing me. Mommy, this is stressing me out, and things like that. So you have to be careful about the pressures that the children deal with, because they don't know how to manage pressures like we did when we were growing up. You know, your parents will beat you and you still move on with life, you know, you take it in stride. But now if you beat your child or you punish your child, you have to now go and help her understand why you are punishing her, because you don't want her to be, you know, psychologically, you know, all those things. So it's very important that we help our children manage these things, because they're caught in the middle. They never saw it coming. They never wished for this. The people that they hoped would, you know, guide them, show them the way and all that, these are the people who have decided to throw in the towel and throw the family dynamic upside down. So the children are caught in the middle. It becomes the responsibility of the parent, or the parent in particular, who is maybe left with the children, to help the children manage their emotions so that they don't feel like they have a fault, it's their fault, or they have a role to play in it and all that. So it's a very dicey situation.
So still talking about the children, how can, you know, the parents involved now co-parent, you know, in an amicable way that would not affect the children at all?
It depends on if they want to co-parent. You can decide you want to co-parent now, and then the other partner doesn't want to be in the picture. Wants to literally just walk away from their
mother
past.
And the children.
Yes. We've had situations where women walk away from the husband and the children. And we have situations where it's the men that decide to walk away and start a brand new life. So it really depends on the individuals. I'm telling you, these are really disturbing issues, but that is the reality of the times that we're in. People do walk away. So if you have two people who believe in, okay, you know what, we need to co-parent as adults because of our children. We don't want to mess these children up. So let us co-parent as friends and all that. And sometimes you really don't have to be friends, but you can just decide on the dynamics of co-parenting.
You draw the line.
Yes, we don't really have to be friends, but you know what? As per the children, this and this and this and this are how we're going to manage these children. If it's your time to take if that partner is around, if it's your time to have the children, you can have the children at so time. If it's my time to have the children, I can have the children at so time. You are not involved in my personal life. I'm not involved in your personal life, you know, and it can be managed.
But one way or the other, they end up being involved in their personal lives. I've seen cases like that.
Especially in Africa.
Yes.
Especially in Africa.
Okay, but why is it not possible for people to get divorced and, of course, still be friends with each other because of their children?
I'll help you understand. The pain involved. When one person decides to leave the marriage, the other person wasn't ready, didn't see it coming, feels cheated from this is us, how this is us is supposed to be, and then one person feels cheated. The person just feels, you know what, it's better for my mental health for you to maintain your distance, for us to keep this formal, you know, because it helps that person with their own emotional connection. So it's as painful as it might be, the person will have to sever to an extent the exposure for their own personal space, for their own sanity, for their own safety.
Okay, so before I ask you my next question, you have a very lovely hair. Can you please just adjust it just like this?
Thank you.
Like this. Now let's talk about blaming games now. It is so easy for people to, you know, blame each other.
Yeah.
When they are going through a divorce or after a divorce. So how can they avoid, you know, blaming one another and just, you know, move on easily?
Yeah, the best way to do that is deciding to accept the fact that this person doesn't want to be with you anymore. It's that acceptance that is difficult for a lot of people. When you accept the fact that this person doesn't want to be with me anymore, you have peace. You just have peace. Because in reality, you cannot force anybody to be with you if they don't want to be with you. So accepting that reality and just making peace with it, instead of throwing a tantrum, calling this, calling that person, calling family, you know, I heard of a story of someone who was like, you know, who was literally telling the judge, please don't let this man divorce me.
Wow.
You know, if somebody takes you all the way to the court, the person doesn't want to be with you anymore. You can't force anybody to be with you. So it's better to just accept the reality that, you know what, yeah, we started, it was supposed to be forever, but then this person doesn't want to be in my life anymore. Because the sooner you accept it, the sooner you can heal and the sooner you can move on with your life. Or else you get stuck.
Okay,
even
so
when this person has moved on.
What are those factors now that could trigger a divorce? And why is it that in this part of the world, when people are divorced, you see them as a failure, you stigmatize them, oh, this, oh, that, and then you add more to their pressure?
You know, parts of the factors that can affect, that can cause divorce is, like I said, midlife crisis. I'm telling you. People get to their 40s, their 50s, and then they just want to a do-over. They just want to start life afresh. They want to start with a new person. They just, or maybe, you know, it depends on values.
But people have also identified external forces now as part of
like in-laws.
Yeah, in-laws, friends.
Yes. That's one of the things, is the issue of the midlife crisis and then somebody wanting change. And then there are other issues like in-law involvement, status issues. You know, maybe this person feels, I'm not satisfied financially, I'm struggling with this person has dropped a bait of a better life with this other person. I want that better life that this person is offering. So they are willing to walk away. They're willing to sacrifice everything for that better life that they assume they are seeing, you know. So, and sometimes it backfires. Because that shiny object syndrome that you think you're going for, when you're in, it doesn't look so shiny after all. You know, so so those are factors. You know, it can be for financial reasons, it can be for even your safety reasons. People, especially women, have been in situations where they have to walk away from a very, very abusive marriage because they're physically battered, and you know they have no choice other than to just walk away, or they feel like, if I don't walk away, I could die.
But that is where I'll blame the society. You know, they keep appealing, you have to put
God
your head
hates
there.
divorce. You know,
from the spiritual angle.
But the Bible actually says God hates divorce. Yes.
I know.
Yes.
But if death is staring you in the face,
sis, you have no option but to leave. And if this person is telling you, you better leave, one day I will kill you.
Wow.
Do you need anybody to still tell you that you heard that, or you prefer to unhear what you already heard?
Some sisters or brothers will come around, let us pray, God can intervene.
See, the thing is, thank God for social media. You know, there was a time when we did not even hear of certain stories. But thank God for social media, we hear live stories of people who have literally died in abusive marriages.
Definitely.
They've died.
Yes.
They've been beaten to death. You've had situations where women stab their husbands. It's not the first time the woman is physically, you know, abusive to the man. But, you know, now you people can manage it. You can still patch it up, you know, stay because of the children and things like that. And then the wife stabs the man at home one day. Maybe she's been on the receiving end for so long, and then she decides to fight back. And that fighting back, she was not thinking properly, and that's it. That she unalives the person. So these are factors. These are factors, but they are real.
You know, getting a divorce here in Nigeria, it's quite difficult. But abroad, look at Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer, she's getting married and getting divorced like
you get to make money as a woman.
She's not wasting time.
Oh my God.
She got married to this particular Ben Affleck once.
They
divorced. And they got married again, and now she wants a divorce again. So my question now is...
No, I think they dated.
They got married. They did. Yes, they got married. And we loved them then. And when they got back together, we loved them again. Now she came up and she wants to divorce. Why? For what?
No, I think it's the man that actually walked away.
Jennifer
Lopez.
Yes.
Ben Affleck.
Yes.
I think
She gets
the guy...
In fact, like 2 years, you marry, the next thing she's leaving again. She will not even waste time. So I wonder... The pain of divorce, does it ever end? The pain?
You see, for the person who walked away, there's no, to a larger extent, they already prepared their mind. It's not something that they just decided, you know, right now. It's a thought that they've been nursing for some time. So the person who leaves the partner behind is not healing, you know, has literally made peace with that decision before they walked away. So they are no longer like suffering or emotionally stuck. It's the person that was blindsided by their leaving that is now stuck for a period of time because they can't believe that the marriage has ended. So they usually would get stuck. Or if it's something that they've thought about, that, you know, the way this marriage is going, it can actually end. Then they make peace easily and say, you know what, it's been a long time coming. You know, we are in Africa. The dynamic is just different. It's like, because of our culture, it's like even the system does not want marriages to break.
Yes.
Marriages should not end. So our culture is not quick to say, you know what, next. You know, our culture wants to be sure that, can this not be salvaged? Can it not be managed? So even the judicial system will ensure beyond every reasonable doubt that this cannot be resolved. And these partners have to be away from each other.
That will take me to my next question, which I mentioned a bit earlier. If you are divorced now, how do you cope with the stigma? Because people will stigmatize.
Absolutely, 100%.
Maybe it was caught somewhere, she was caught somewhere, blah, blah, blah. She's not a good woman. How do you cope with the stigma and the pressure?
The thing is, you have to be mentally strong. If you're not mentally strong, you can't. You know,
therapies available for people going through such?
The therapists are available, but not everybody wants to expose themselves because of the stigma, as you say it. Some people don't want to talk about it. There are people who have unalived themselves because they can't cope with being here in the pain. You know, they can't live with it, so they just decide to end it all. But the thing is, we need to get to a point where you are mentally strong, because you need to be mentally strong to survive life after divorce. You need to be able to know how to move on. If you need to call a village, call a village. If you need to call a support system, call your support system, call your tribe to help you if you feel like you can't do it alone. It's very important, because thank God for the environment that we are in. You know, I mean, there's the good and there's the bad. There's the pro and there's the con. We live in a society that is more, you can find people to talk to.
A support system.
You know, you can have your friends, you know, people who know you, who would be there. Not everybody believes that your marriage should have ended in a divorce for whatever reason. And then there will be people who, from afar, will be looking at you and then just decide to brand you or label you and castigate you because your marriage failed, without even knowing the intricate details of how the marriage came to an end. Whether it's your fault, whether it's your spouse that cheated, what, you know, we live in that, and it's because we are not divorce prone. Divorce is becoming a thing now. Before it wasn't like that. Our parents don't divorce, they stay, they stick it.
They manage.
They manage it, they patch until the children grow up, and you know, maybe they decide to go and hang out with the children, or the children say, oh, Mommy, come and live with me abroad, and whatever. But the thing is, the realities of our time is that divorce is now normal. Is normal. It has become part of. It's a new normal. I'm sorry, it's unfortunate.
And thank God
so
for
you now have
social media.
blended families now.
Yes.
Blended families have become a thing. This person's marriage and this person's marriage, and this one has children, this one has children. They come together and like, you know what? I know where you've been. I know what you've been through. I know what you've been through. Okay, I think we can make it work because we know where we're coming from. Or this other person doesn't have children, this one has children, and they just come together and make it work. So blended families are becoming a thing.
So at what point should one seek, you know, professional help? And what are the advantages of seeking professional help when, you know, dealing with life after divorce?
I think you should seek professional help if you cannot manage life after divorce on your own or with your immediate family. If you're not getting the family support, which is something that we lean into as Africans. If you're not getting that family support, you don't feel like you have anyone who hears you, who can listen to you, who can help you, hold your hand and tell you you're not alone. You know, these things happen. This is life. You never planned for it, but it has happened. You know, that voice that just gives you encouragement that, you know, tomorrow will be better. You know, if you are not in that space, in that head space, then you should seek professional help if you don't have the support system that can help you heal. If you feel like you're not just moving forward with your life, because there are so many factors that you need to consider post-divorce. You're thinking of your finances, you're thinking of the children, you're thinking about starting your life again, you're thinking of, do I remarry or not remarry? Do I stick it as a single parent for the rest of my life? You know, am I afraid of relationships now? There are so many factors you're thinking about. So if you are not in a good space to be able to see things clearly about how you want to move forward with your life, then you really need to have, you know, professional help. Talk to a psychologist, talk to a therapist, you know, talk to anybody, talk to, you know, people in church if you have that, or the mosque if you have that system in place. You need to talk to, it's important. Otherwise you can't heal.
So what are those signs that you will see before the bubble bursts, that might give you an inkling of what is going to happen? And how does a man or a woman who is divorced does not allow those church members, friends, and families to take advantage of them? Because for some people, it's an opening. Maybe I've been eyeing this guy, I've been eyeing this woman. Let me use this opportunity to enter, so to say.
I'll start. No, the thing is, I'll start with that. Is it
not true?
You brought sweet language.
Yeah, no, it's important. These things are important. But the thing is, you know, you really have to start by knowing yourself. Know what you want and what you don't want. You know, it's very possible for you to now get into patterns. You know, whatever didn't work in the previous marriage, it's possible that you can begin to attract that same, you know, in a different body, but then you attract that. Some people are attracted to case studies, like they're attracted to cases to help. You know, this person doesn't have a challenge in their life. It's not exciting. This person must have challenge.
Wow.
You know, for me,
really?
I know some people are like that, where they are attracted to, is there no work for me to do in this relationship? No, I'm telling you the truth.
That's strange.
Some people are attracted to, maybe this person needs to be in a place where they can't manage their emotion. I need to rescue this person. Or this person, maybe he has children, is helpless. I need to help this person now raise these children and things like, yes. So you can be attracted to that being a hero. So if you are not playing the part of a hero, the relationship doesn't look attractive, or a new relationship doesn't look attractive. So you really need to spend that time and ask yourself those questions. Am I going to keep attracting my ex in another body? So it's important that you have that time, self-reflection. Know who you are. And if you know who you are, take stock, my bro. If you know who you are, you won't just accept anything that is thrown at you. Because some people would, it is that woman who is divorced or that man who is divorced that now becomes most attractive to them. Maybe they want to take advantage. They feel that this person their emotions are upside down. They are easy pickings, you know, and they want to go after, maybe the person has something that is attractive to them. Maybe the person is financially independent or something, and they feel, okay, this is an inroad into this person. Okay. You know, so those are the things.
Well, we still have some questions for you, but
sure.
We need to take a short break right now. It's time for our break. We still have 2 minutes. Our producer said we have 2 minutes, so let's just chip in this question before we take the break. Now, is it advisable for a divorcee to go into another relationship immediately after leaving one? Quick, 2 minutes before we take our break.
Okay. It really depends on the individual. It's not advisable, because I'm telling you, you can fall into a pattern easily. It's not advisable, but if it's a different dynamic from what you have been in, if you can clearly define what is this person's mission in my life, who is this person, what do they want, you know, it's okay to ask salient questions about their mission, what they want, and then watch this person. Even if you get into a relationship, no, you don't have to get into a marriage. If you get into a relationship, you need to be careful, because, like I said, you can be attracting the patterns that you are already used to. So it is very, very important that you are watchful. Don't let anybody hurry you. don't let anybody hurry. And sometimes we can't stay alone because we've been in a relationship. It's difficult to now be a singleton again, and you just want to have someone to cleave to. So it's very important that you are careful with falling into another relationship right immediately after the previous one ends.
Okay, like Bukola said, we'll be taking a very quick break right now on the conversation for a commercial. When we come back, the show will continue.